Set. And action.
Hello everyone. We humans have built hundreds of thousands of buildings since ancient times, but not all the results were successful. Interestingly, someone already defined some of the results as unsuccessful, so we will see some of the results in this order. So, earlier this year, there was a surveying targeting by 100 architects and by Tonghailbo and monthly architecture magazine Space that selecting the best and the worst buildings in Korea. The buildings should be built after independence and relatively well known. And they were chosen on the basis of aesthetic, functional, historical, public, and innovative factors. So, interestingly again, I found a similarity among some buildings, some of the worst buildings on the list. So from now on, I would like to introduce you some of the worst buildings in Korea based on that similarity. The first building I want to introduce you is the National Assembly Building. It was ranked in the 6th worst building and built in 1975. Experts mostly criticize the Western style of external appearance of the building, so and it cannot reflect the identity of true Korean love. So a professor said it is too authoritarian and nationalistic, and also aesthetic in its Western style. Next, I want to introduce the National Folk Museum of Korea. It was ranked in the 15th. So, National Folk Museum directly copies the every architecture style of Korea. The stairs are the copies of Bulguksa, and the 5-story pagoda is from 법주사 팔상점, and the 2 buildings on each side is the copy of 금산사 밀점 and 화음사 관왕점. And to some of you, these names would be familiar because the names can be found in the very different page apart from the Korean history book. So one of the experts said it is not the proper interpretation of Korean tradition and just a mix of copies. The last building is the Opera House of Seoul Arts Center. It is ranked as second, and opening since 1993, the Opera House is a landmark of Seoul Arts Center. The problem is the roof of the Opera House, which features a unique shape of kat. Kat is a Korean traditional hat made of horsetail, but architects said that it looks like a lid of an electric rice cooker rather than a kat. So he said it is result of using direct simile rather than indirect metaphor. Now, can you see something in common among these 3 buildings? The problem in question is concerned with the tradition. The 3 National Assembly Building does not have the traditional factor at all. On the other hand, National Folk Museum and the Opera House use the traditional factor too directly. So actually, not only the 3 buildings in the list, but also 11 among the 20 the worst buildings on the list were related with the traditional problems. To sum up, seen in the example of 3 buildings, historical factor of the building is determined by the perceived identity of Korea and the interpretation of tradition. And although the aesthetic factor is important and standards can be different by person to person, historical factor can be equally important when evaluating the value of the building. So this was the end. Thank you for listening.